Posting bail means that you pay to get someone out of jail after their initial arrest. It is unusual for countries to have this sort of function in their legal system, which is why the United States stand out from the rest of the world regarding this solution. The average cost of bailing someone out in the US is $10,000, although the cost varies greatly. It is up to the judge to set the price, and it is graded according to factors such as how serious the charges are and how likely it is that the person will flee before their trial. The purpose and idea may at first glance seem quite reasonable, but in reality the system does not work as well as it is supposed to in theory. People buy freedom they don't really deserve, and the system promotes extreme inequality. If you can't afford the bail, you have to sit behind bars waiting for the trial to take place, which can take up to anything from a couple of months to several years in the US. Nearly 500,000 Americans are currently in jail awaiting their trial, a number that make up 2/3 of all those imprisoned in the US, this according to the Prison Policy Initiative. For example, Khalif Browder was accused of stealing a backpack, got arrested and was being held as a suspect for over 3 years until the trial. Well, Browder was acquitted when evidence showed that he was innocent. After the trial, Browder told The New Yorker that the 3 years had left him mentally scarred, and shortly thereafter he took his own life. If Browder's family had been able to pay the $3,000 bail, his death might have been avoided. Meanwhile, people who can afford bail, like Kyle Rittenhouse, the teenager arrested and charged with murder for killing 2 Black Lives Matter protesters, are free to go about their lives while awaiting trial, which could be years away. As of January 1, 2023, Illinois will release approximately 400 defendants back into society, due to the SAFE-T Act that was enacted in 2020. The SAFE-T Act will go into effect on January 1, 2023, and it means that people who committed crimes like robbery, burglary, assault, drug possession, murder and human trafficking, do not qualify for being held detained, in custody, or in jail awaiting trial, unless it can be proven that the person being accused for a crime is likely to flee to avoid prosecution, or if there is clear evidence that the person poses a real and present threat to the security of a specific, identifiable person or persons. Even though the law was already adopted in 2020, it wasn't until mid-2022 that people understood the seriousness behind it, which will take effect from the beginning of 2023, and a lot of Americans have expressed on social media that they will no longer feel safe in society. The new law in Illinois will not only release defendants into society, but it will also limit who can and cannot be arrested. Sheriff Ken Briley says that the new law is like giving criminals tickets to freedom. The next problem that will emerge, according to Briley, is that citizens will start taking the law into their own hands, now that there is no law to protect them. The new law still gives judges the ability to keep suspects they deem dangerous, locked up without bail. But many of those working in law enforcement worry that too many people who should be behind bars won't be after January 1, 2023. Governor J.B. Pritzker was the one who signed the SAFE-T Act into law in 2021. Pritzker was born and raised in Atherton, California, a member of the Pritzker family, a Jewish family prominent in business and philanthropy during the late 20th century. The Pritzkers have consistently been near the top of the Forbes America's Richest Families list since 1982. As president of the Pritzker Family Foundation, J.B. Pritzker has worked together with, among others, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Goldman Sachs.